is on full thrust. This creates a current of water that slowly draws the floating ice away. Only when enough ice is driven clear can Kai safely bring the vessel tight to the dock for unloading.
Getting a firm handshake of the captain for me means to me that I've done my job properly, helped the ship get into port safely and probably a lot faster than without me.
Tornio relies on megaships like these to keep its steel plants running. But this port is also the historic gateway to Finland's largest and most northerly region, Lapland. Famous for being the home of Santa Claus, most of Finland's largest region sits north of the Arctic Circle and is cloaked in darkness for 2 straight months each winter. This vast and sprawling area covers 100,000 square kilometers. Looking closer from above reveals a huge expanse of land with frozen lakes, open tundra, and birch shrubland. But this wilderness is far from empty. It's home to one of the world's most beloved creatures, reindeer. There are about 200,000 reindeer in Finland, but surprisingly, these animals are not fully wild. They share a unique relationship with one of Europe's last remaining indigenous people, the Sami. Niels Martti Vaasara is a Sami herder, just like his father and his father before him.
Jeg får ikke til å gjøre det her.
So Niels Martti must now supplement his 1,000-strong herd's diet. Today he must load up with hay and pellets for them. But before he can feed his reindeer, Niels Martti faces a huge challenge. He must find them. Reindeer are always moving in the search for food. Niels Martti knows his herd will head into the wind as they try to find the smell of fresh grazing. He sets off on his snowmobile towards a valley where he thinks he will find them.
I know this land, indeed. I have not yet applied modern technology. It is not as reliable as I am.
The reindeer are just where he predicted, and they flock to the sound of his snowmobile. Sami have always relied on reindeer for food, clothing, and shelter. Without them, life this far north would have been impossible. Niels Martti spreads out the food to make sure everyone gets their fair share. And then he scans the landscape for stragglers. Once he's happy the entire herd is together, he unloads the last of the feed.
The best place in this world is with the reindeers. Nothing comes before that. It's always been like that, all my life, and shall remain for as long as I live.
Winter can last for up to 7 months in Finland, but as its grip loosens, the landscape transforms from white to blue and green. Waterways wake from a deep icy slumber as spring comes to Finland. In the cities of the south, including Turku, the nation's oldest, Tampere, its industrial powerhouse, and Helsinki, the rapidly expanding capital. The warmer weather brings Finns back out onto the streets. But this presents new challenges. Helsinki is Finland's largest city, home to 1.5 million people. From above, we can see its urban heart is clustered on a small peninsula surrounded by more than 330 islands. The city's 5 main bridges become pinch points for road traffic heading into the centre. The Finns have developed the perfect solution to help take cars off the streets: a city-wide tram system. It is able to carry large numbers of people around Helsinki like a train, but still use the city's narrow streets just like a bus. It is Anssi Kopanen's job to keep all 11 tram lines in perfect working order. He drives a specially equipped maintenance vehicle, affectionately known as the banana tram, because it's yellow.
Our maintenance tram is pretty rare. You can't find those in many places, especially in winter. Those found in Helsinki are unique.
Anssi sets off, heading towards the bustling city centre. Street litter can easily get stuck in the sunken rails. So this ingenious yellow vehicle is fitted with multiple brushes to its underside. They sweep any debris like coins and stones that could jam or derail the trams. From above, Anssi's challenge looks like a video game as he times his cleaning runs to dodge people, cars, and passenger trams. As Anssi and the banana tram wind along the narrow streets, his journey takes him past some of Helsinki's most important sites, including the very heart of today's nation, Senate Square. This grand plaza was built for Finland's most important institutions when Helsinki was made its new capital, and the country was absorbed into the Russian Empire in 1809. Its neoclassical buildings are home to Helsinki Cathedral, the National Library, Helsinki University, and the Government Palace, from where the Declaration of Independence from Russia was drafted in 1917. Anssi reaches the very end of the peninsula, arriving at Helsinki's all-important port. This area, with its colourful early 20th century houses, is one of the most sought-after places in the city to live. Anssi must now tackle the most crucial job on his route and clean the most crowded street in the city, Maritime. 7 tram lines converge on this busy road. Anssi needs to wait for the perfect gap to dart between the constant flow of city trains.
Programmet sponset av Specsavers, briller og kontaktlinser i butikk og på nett. Fra dagens frontlinje i krigen mot narkotika ser vi tilbake og spør hvordan endte vi opp her. Narco Wars, en helt ny serie, starter 6. mars på National Geographic. Storskjerming fra Kjells markiser har gitt tusenvis av nordmenn mange fordeler. Som for eksempel behageligere innetemperatur, redusert innsyn og mindre TV-gjensyn. Med 30% rabatt kan du nå velge å vrake i det aller beste innen solskjermingsprodukter, som øker bokvaliteten og gjør boligen eller hytta mer dekorativ. Send Kjells til 1963 og få uforpliktende gratis befaring. Nå kan du prøve Discovery Plus Sport i 3 måneder for bare 89 i måneden. Se alle kampene i Eliteserien. olympiaplass og jentenes kvalifisering til OL i Tokyo. Og mye, mye mer. Prøv Discovery Plus i 3 måneder for kun 89 i måneden. På discoveryplus.no. Mens testosteronnivået begynner å synke fra 35-årsalderen. Det gir en del plager. Disse plagene kan man gjøre noe med. Maxolin kan bidra til ny kraft og energi, forbedret muskelstyrke og økt lyst. Bestill nå på maxolin.no.
Skal du hjelpe til, eller?
Ikke, jeg vil male ikke.
Det kommer til å ha noe der. Det er knekk koksemulig.
Ingenting er kninkukk så mye før det er prøvd.
Vi er enige med bildet. Ingenting er klin kokosmulig før du har prøvd. Derfor skal vi være først med 5G til hele Norge. Slik at du får uendelig med muligheter. Hilsen Telia, Norges største utfordrer. Alltid en grunn til å gå til Specsavers. Få kvalitetsbriller til en pris din lommebok vil elske. Akkurat nå får du briller til 0 kroner når du kjøper en synstest for 645. Vi tar godt vare på deg, slik at du kan føle deg trygg i butikken.
Hva?
Kvalitet og design trenger ikke å koste skjorta.
Mamma har nettopp pusset opp badet sitt, skjønner du.
Ny kundeavis ute nå.
Hos Power kan du handle med drive-thru. Reserver varen på Power.no og hent på parkeringsplassen. Betalingen gjør du fra bilen. Trygt og enkelt. Velkommen til Power.
Farmasi.no er Norges største nettapotek. Vi har kjente merkevarer til en god pris. Ester C tas effektivt opp i kroppen og er skånsom for magen. Nå til 30% på Visol Natural. 100% naturlig, som lindrer både tørk og slimhoste. 30% på Femarel. Kosttilskudd til kvinner. 30% på Jenny Skavlans renfavoritter og resten av hudpleieserien. Farmasi.no, Norges største nettapotek. Husk, reseptvarer bestiller du enkelt hos oss.
Presenterer følelsen når det løser seg. Det føles godt å få ryddet opp i fortiden. Ved å samle inkasso og dyre smålån inn i ett boliglån, kan du få muligheten til å komme deg videre i livet. Se hvordan på bluestep.no.
Kampanjedagene fortsetter hos Fanemøbler. Len deg tilbake med inntil 33% på hvilestolen i Rjukan. Finn hvilepulsen med inntil 40% på Sone modulsofa. Og sov godt med 40% på sengeløsningene Svane, Origo og Odel Bre. Gjør et kupp på fagmøbler.no.
Luftfarteksperter sier at sjansen for at et fly styrter er minimal. Men hva skjer hvis katastrofen inntreffer alle odds? En helt ny sesong med Flyhavarikommisjonen spesialrapport mandager klokken 21 på National Geographic.
Programmet er sponset av Specsavers, briller og kontaktlinser i butikk og på nett.
Helsinki's busiest road is also home to some of the city's most striking modern architecture. The Kiasma Museum of Contemporary Art, the spectacular Central Public Library, its wave-like exterior made from Finnish spruce, and the world-famous Olympic Stadium, completed in 1938. Ansi and his banana tram successfully dodged the unrelenting passenger trams. He can finally head back to the depot, knowing he's kept this dynamic capital moving.
It's a nice feeling. You know you've done your job properly, and everything on the tracks is working. It's nice to drive the tram into the depot and go home.
The majority of Finland's population live in bustling urban centres, but many still maintain a connection to the country's vast wilderness. Holiday cabins known as Murki, a tranquil escape from modern life, dot the rural landscape, particularly on the shores of the lakes in the heavily forested east. But these lakes aren't just home to humans, and spring is the perfect time to take one of the world's most important head counts. From high above, southeastern Finland appears punctured by more than 100,000 lakes. The largest of these is Lake Saimaa. It's an extraordinary, sinuous maze of water carved during the last ice age. The lake is one of the most picturesque landscapes in Finland, and its waters support a wealth of wildlife, including one of the world's most endangered species, the Lake Saimaa seal. Today, there are around 400 of these animals living in the wild. This makes them one of the rarest seal species in the world. Joni Koskela is a conservation scientist helping to protect them.
If the weather is fine, we can see 1 or 2 seals or even 5 seals at the same evening.
For most of the year, the seals live in the open water, making them near impossible to spot. But every spring, these animals come out of the water for a short period to lay in the sun and molt their winter coats on the shore of this giant lake. It's a vital window for Joni to perform a head count and to map where the seals hang out. From high above the lake, the scale of Joni's task becomes clear. The lake spreads out over 1,000 square kilometers. That's around the size of the city of Los Angeles. And the 400 seals could be anywhere on the thousands of islands and rocks that lie scattered like confetti. It takes an hour of searching before Joni spots his first seal. A grey speck on a rock easily unnoticed by the untrained eye. The seal's unique markings perfectly camouflage them on the lake's lichen-covered rocks. They're one of only 3 seal species to thrive in fresh water.
Every time when I see a seal, it is a very, very nice experience for me. Because most of the time the seal is living in water and it cannot be seen.
Joni takes down the seal's location using a GPS tracker. It's crucial he records the seal's favourite sunbathing locations to protect the land from future housing developments. Efforts like this, along with a ban on dangerous fishing gear, have more than tripled the number of seals since action was taken in the 1980s. And conservationists are now seeing record numbers of new pups being born. Joni continues his search, and over the next 5 hours finds 2 more seals. It's slow work, but Joni knows how important it is for the Saimaa seal, and for the pride of a nation.
The future of Saimaa seal depends on us Finnish people. And if we want to save the seal, then after 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, there are even more seals than now.